Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen. It is currently 10:20 p.m. so I should be winding down for bed, but it's actually Sunday night. So I've just driven home from my boyfriend's house and I did my groceries for the week on the way home, which is what I pretty much always prefer to do. I just do one really big shop on a Sunday, get absolutely everything I need for the week, and then I'm fully stocked. I don't have to waste any extra time doing little runs to the groceries or kind of just being tempted to like spend more, because obviously at the moment it is getting a little bit hard to afford the average grocery shop for all of us. So trying to just make sure I've got everything, I'm really organized, and I'm kind of doing meals that are going to use all of the food I've bought, so I'm not wasting anything as well. So that is today's shop, but actually this one is a little bit of a different one. So extremely quick disclaimer, I am actually going on what I would classify as a little bit of a cut or a calorie deficit before I go on holidays. So I will leave my little meal plan, I guess, that I'm going to do just here on the screen so you can kind of see. But if I kind of go through it very quickly, I'll just bring it up for myself on my phone as well. But basically, this is what I do to be in a little bit of a calorie deficit for the next 4 weeks. So I've got around about a month until we go, and this for me is just a way to cut out any of that kind of excess sugar and carbs and stuff that I'm just kind of eating when I'm not really, kind of just more like intuitive eating. You're not being terribly careful or like tracking or anything like that. Like I definitely don't do any of those things. I just go to the gym 5 times a week, eat a very healthy, full and nutritious diet, and that just works for me. So in terms of the meal plan for breakfast, instead of me having my usual bowl of cereal and a smoothie or a chia pudding or something like that, I kind of want to cut that out and just go more of savory thing, because that kind of leaves me craving sweets a little bit less. So I've gone for scrambled eggs. I have a chicken sausage or pork sausages, whatever you can get. They're like the little breakfast sausages you can buy at Coles or Woolworths. I will use a quarter of an avocado and I'll make a large iced coffee with almond milk. I don't know what it is about the like sensory thing of using ice. Maybe some of you are the same as me. Jazz thinks I'm a complete weirdo, but any drink I have, I love having ice in it, even if it's literally the middle of winter. Like right now, I will still have ice in my water, ice in my coffees, like I don't know, but I just personally really like it and it makes it taste really fresh and nice for me. So if you're an ice kind of person as well, then you probably know what I'm talking about, but I don't tend to go for hot kind of drinks unless I'm out and about and I'm actually freezing. So that's that. I am actually now cutting out my second coffee of the day, because that kind of became a little bit of a habit, and I'm replacing it with matcha. So I had actually done a collab before, so I'm not like trying to recommend this product or anything, but it's just one I had left over in my pantry. So this was just the JS Health Pure Matcha Green Tea Powder, and it's certified organic, so obviously it's really good quality, but there's plenty of matcha powders you can get at stores, at health food shops, like in the health food aisle at the supermarket, all that kind of stuff. But it does taste maybe a little bit like grass if you don't kind of put in a small squeeze of honey or something, but personal preference, what you sort of prefer, but that's what I've been doing. For snacks, I'm gonna have some strawberries, some dark chocolate, peppermint tea. I wanted to do trail mix and a little bit of yogurt. For lunch, I am just doing my classic salad that I've usually done for a really long time, and instead of even adding any cold cut meat or tuna or anything like that with it, sorry, that's just Jazz texting me if you can hear my phone going off, I'm just doing my delicious garden salad that I really like making. I couldn't get iceberg lettuce though, which kind of annoyed me, so I had to get a butter lettuce, which I don't like as much, so I may go back to the shops and get an iceberg lettuce if I can find one midweek. For dinner, it'll just be simple stuff like a protein with some rice or sweet potato and then some greens. So, and green juice, but not the one that I normally have. So I'm going to show you a different one, which is much lower in calories and sugar. And then in terms of just like other health and well-being sort of stuff, I am currently at Body Fit, so I do go there 5 days a week, and that's kind of a mix of like HIIT training and weights divvied up into like lower and upper body and that kind of thing. But I'm not quite sure if I'll carry on with that or if I'll go back to a different split workout that I used to do, purely because Body Fit is literally $70 a week. So being that it is that I own my own business now and I am not sort of just like raking in a usual salary, I'm just kind of thinking that it might make sense to cut that and just use my Form app, which is what I was talking about in some previous vlogs. But basically, I used to do casual boxing classes at a place called 1R in South Yarra, which is really cool. It's like a basement kind of boxing place. So if you're ever looking for somewhere really fun to go to do boxing. It's great, and it's also done on like boxing bags, so you don't have to partner with someone, which I really liked when I was learning how to do boxing, because there's no pressure to like be a pad holder or be like really good at it. You can kind of just go at your own pace. I'm also going to be incorporating daily walks, which is not something that I do. I usually just go to the gym and then go home, but if it's a weights day, I'll go for a walk. So that's usually twice a week, but now I'm going to do a walk every single day, which is really nice way, I think, to start your morning after doing the workout. And I'm also adding back in the infrared sauna. So there's a place near me where I can get a 10 pack for like $200, which is pretty reasonable. So I think I'll try and use that whole 10 sessions spread out over the weeks until I leave, because that's also another really great way to just detox your whole body. It's very good for recovery from the gym, and it just has a ton of other benefits. So super keen on all of that. But I'll stop talking now and I can get straight into everything that I got and show you my sort of really healthy meals that are a bit more for a calorie deficit. So I am quite a label reader when I go to the supermarket, and you guys probably know that if you've watched these videos before, because I had to with my interstitial cystitis. It was an absolute non-negotiable for me that I would read every single packet and make sure it didn't have acidity regulators and like a lot of things that would, citric acid, all that kind of stuff, and too many preservatives and things that would really tick off my bladder. So I always read the packets, but then as a result you kind of find out other stuff and you figure out the healthy options. So I feel like I'm a little bit more expert in that field than maybe average grocery shopper. But basmati rice is one of the healthier ones for you. It's a lot lower in carbs. So I ended up getting this one. It's the Tilda brand whole grain basmati rice, and I know it's just packet rice, but I don't have a rice cooker and I'm not going to stand there and stir rice when I can just chuck that in the microwave. So that's just me. For the chocolate, I got the 90% cocoa Lindt chocolate, and yes, it's not going to taste as good as like a delicious creamy milk chocolate, but to be honest, this one is yet again the lowest in sugars, which is of course something you kind of want to watch out for if you're having sweets. And when I have my morning coffee, I love to have just a square of chocolate because I know I'm going to be craving it for some reason. So that's just a non-negotiable for me. I've also been buying grass-fed meat instead of just like standard beef and things like that. So that's definitely an added expense because it is a lot more expensive, say for just like 2 steaks or whatever. I haven't kind of compared market prices because I've not really been into the meat section at the market, but this is 2 grass-fed eye fillet steaks and it's $20. So again, not cheap because it's literally $10 each, but they cook up beautifully and it's really good for me because I definitely need to be getting my iron back in at the moment. So got a little bit of an update on that coming in the next vlog, but I have been feeling a bit shit, to be honest. So I've just been trying to make sure that everything I get has a fair bit of iron in it, and I'm really concentrating on eating some red meats every single week. I also got some salmon. I do wish in Australia we had like not farmed salmon, because I don't know if you know, but these are like usually always farmed. It's not like they just, I don't know, come out of a river or something like they probably do in Canada. So I think that is a little bit annoying, but it just is what it is. It's sort of how the food gets made here. But it would be nice to know if there was like wild caught salmon. I have seen a small handful of butchers, I think, that do it, but it's very, very expensive. So I usually just go with the store-bought stuff. These are the pork sausages I was talking about. So you actually get heaps in here. This is a 16 pack and I only have 1, maybe 2 every morning when I make them. So that will last me potentially 2 weeks as well. In terms of almond milk, I've got this one, the Armo brand. I just bought this because I actually wanted to have a Milo for dessert tonight, and that was chilled and in the fridge section. It was on special. And then for my normal almond milk, you guys know I really like this brand. It's Australian organic and it is the cleanest one that I've found. So this one is the barista almond milk for the coffees, and then this one is the plain unsweetened almond milk. For the green juice, I've got this one, which is Juice Lab Wellness brand, and it's their Digest Gut Health shots. So there's 5 in a bottle. I'll usually just give it a really good shake and put a little bit in a glass. And this is apple cider vinegar, acacia and wheatgrass, and that just is a nice way to get in a little bit of greens, and it really, really helps with any bloating or any tummy pains if you're someone who kind of suffers with that. As discussed, I did get Milo because I saw this on the shelf and I was thinking, what would be a good alternative to like a hot chocolate or something in the evening if I was really just craving a little bit more chocolate or something in my day. So I ended up getting some Milo, which I haven't had in years, so I'm pumped to have this, and it was also on special. So I will just have Milo with some almond milk, maybe in the evening if I'm kind of craving that. I also got 2 avocados. These are Hass avocados. I don't know, whatever. I kind of can't remember if they're better or worse than the summer ones anymore because we've been having these for so many months now, but these ones seem to be all right, and they are ripe, thank God, because sometimes when you go to the shops, it drives me absolutely insane if they're all like rocks, because you know it's just going to be days and days until you can like use them. But I do sometimes do the old banana trick where you like put bananas next to them and it helps them go ripe. But I got some bananas as well in case I want a little bit of a fruit snack. I would normally make a banana smoothie, but like I said, I'm kind of replacing my breakfast with the savory option for now. And then in my freezer, I already had some leftover prawns from making a stir fry the other week. So I just bought this packet of traditional vegetable stir fry mix, which I'm going to make for dinner tomorrow night with some of the prawns. No rice with that, even though I normally would. This is the pasta that I got to go in my salad. Maybe that's like a little bit of a weird thing to do, but I really like doing it just to have some carbs in there. So I'll usually just boil the pasta and pop it in the fridge and then bring it out in little portions to toss through the salad whenever I need. So this one is a wholemeal spiral. They're certified organic, and it was literally, I think, $1.65 for this massive packet. So that will probably last me 2 weeks as well. I am a bigger cheese girly, so I'm very, very happy to say they have a lactose-free cheese block these days, because I always used to have to take my lactase tablets before eating this. So that's the one I got to chop up into little cubes and put in the salad. These actually is for Jazz. I usually make him a bit of a snack drawer every week, but it's the Golden Days Sesame Snaps, and they are gluten-free because he is gluten-free. To go with the salmon, I got some corn because I actually really like corn, and this is not the cheapest actually, to be honest. I think it was maybe like $5 for 3 pieces of corn, but again, haven't had it in ages, and I love to have a big colourful diet, and I just thought delicious. Chopped off the cob, I usually will just like slice it off because I can't bite into it with my veneers, but it's really, really yummy and just something to add a little bit more to a dish. I also got some cucumber for the salad because I love cucumbers. I also got some red capsicums for the salad, and I was quite happy to see these were on special, I think, as well this week, because they were nowhere near as expensive as when I've swiped them before. Then this is the trail mix I got. So it's the Macro Woolworths brand certified organic trail mix, and I don't know if it said, oh, here we go. This is what's in it. So it's got cashew, almonds, sultanas, dried apple, dried cranberries, organic seeds, which are sunflower and pumpkin. So you could have that, I guess, with a little bit of Greek yogurt if you wanted to like make it more of a little granola-y kind of snack, or you could just kind of put it in little snap-lock bags and eat it on its own. I also got some mushrooms to have with breakfast, but also as a side dish for the steak. I've really been enjoying making stuffed mushrooms, so I will just put in here like, I don't know, a little bit of pesto and then some cheese, like grated cheese, to melt over the top of them, and it is absolutely delicious. You could also add in maybe like a little bit of garlic or something as well if you wanted it to kind of have that like garlic bread sort of flavor, but being mushrooms. And garlic's also amazing for you in winter because it is antimicrobial, I think, so it's really good for like killing any viruses and all those kinds of things. For the stir fry, I got this brand, which is Passage to Asia, and I've never tried this flavor. It's the Singapore noodles one, so I thought that might be quite nice to try something different. For my eggs, I have, unfortunately, to my own detriment, and they are way more expensive, become an egg snob. So now I really like organic eggs because I swear to God they taste so much better, and they just look a much more vibrant color when they're like cooking up in the pan. So this is just a little 6-pack of organic eggs. I also got some Greek style yogurt. So obviously I'm lactose intolerant, but it's really great in terms of prebiotics and probiotics and all that stuff. So I will just take my lactase tablets when I have that. I got some broccolini, again, to go with the salmon. This is the lettuce I got. It is a big oak leaf combo lettuce, or I guess I call this butter lettuce, but maybe I'm wrong. I think that's what it's also known as. But the only problem with this kind of lettuce, and another reason why I prefer iceberg, is it feels like it is covered in dirt. So you really have to give it a proper wash in a colander before like chopping it and putting it in a salad. But it is really nice as well, so that's the one that I ended up getting. And the last thing I bought was just 2 punnets of strawberries. So again, that was just kind of one of my snacks, and I think strawberries are really yummy at the moment, so I grabbed some of those. There is actually a strawberry farm I think down the Mornington Peninsula somewhere, and I really want to go sometime. So if anyone wants like a random girly activity, please go with me and pick some strawberries, because I don't think I can torture my boyfriend with that kind of outing. But that's everything that I got, and I am a little bit shocked to say that even though I'm eating less food this week, this still all cost me together about $160. So that's just the cost of living for you at the moment, I think. I feel like groceries have just gone way up. So that's why I've been going to the Pran market the last few weeks and just getting my big veggie box and cooking soups and things, which I'll show you because I did do that. So these are all in my freezer now, but I ended up doing 2 massive batches of soup, which is great for any time I want to bring them down for a super quick and easy lunch. So this one is potato, cauliflower and leek, which is really yummy. And this one is my pumpkin soup that I've been talking to you guys about. So I'm going to pop that into the end of this video with the recipe and the method and all of that kind of stuff. So if you're wanting to make a really nice pumpkin soup for winter, you'll have the recipe. So that's everything for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching, and stay on for the next bit if you want the pumpkin soup recipe, because you can watch that and then you'll be able to make it for yourself as well. But if not, I will talk to you in the next video. Alright, so as requested, here is the recipe for my winter pumpkin soup. You'll need a big piece of pumpkin, some light coconut milk. I use the Woolworths organic one. I've got 4 carrots, 2 chilies, although you could just use 1, a couple of sweet potatoes, 1 brown onion, some Keen's curry powder, a little bit of minced garlic, and 1 litre of salt reduced chicken stock. So first things first, I'm just going to dice up the onion. I could definitely dice this a little bit finer, but it doesn't matter because we're going to end up blending it. And then I just spray in a whole bunch of olive oil and set that aside so it can start to heat up and cook the onion. The next step is to add the stock into the pot. So you're just going to pour the entire thing in, and then I start to chop everything up. So I've got the pumpkin, sweet potato and carrots, and all of them I just kind of dice up as finely as I can, because obviously you want to make sure that each individual piece is cooking through properly, and just that you're not going to get, I guess, any undercooked vegetables, because it doesn't actually take that long to cook them up once they are finely chopped. So that is your first job. And this is what you'll be left with, all of your lovely orange and red ingredients in their wintry colors. I then pop them into the pot, and you can also add in at this point your light coconut milk. And then I set a timer on my oven for 20 minutes. So that is for everything to essentially come to the boil and then just simmer away. So if you have a lid for your pot, that is very handy. I then use a stick mixer to blend it all up once it's done and cooled down. So just be very careful it doesn't splash on you. You'll then have a beautiful pureed up pumpkin soup, and I just popped it into a couple of these little Chinese containers.